He's good. You know, he can go inside, he can go outside. He's rugged. You know, he's a rugged kid. And, you know, I thought we did a very good job of paying attention and listening and executing our scouting report defensively. But our guys were physical with him, and we crowded off of who we should have crowded off of and tried to stay at home off the guys we thought could make shots. But I think our guys were very attentive on both Henry and Fisher.
Tom, is that about as good a half of basketball as you played this year in the first half?
Until we give up a 4-point play at the end. It was good. You know, it was good at both ends of the court. And I think a lot of it started with our defense, in that we made it difficult for them to score. Our guys did a good job of fighting over and getting through screens so that our bigs weren't at such a disadvantage as they were coming downhill. But and offensively, the ball just moved. The ball just moved. It found its way to the open person. What was that? Found its way to the open person, and we made plays.
Conversely, what happened in the second half of the ball didn't move quite as well?
Yeah, it was. You know, we started off. I think we made 2 threes to start the half, and then the ball started to stick, and then we stopped moving our bodies. You know, we started to stand around a little too much. You know, we took some bad shots, some quick bad shots instead of making them work. And so we have to understand it. Like, that can't happen. But you know, we were able to hold on. And what we have to understand, this happened in the first half and repeatedly in the second half, is that when we have a bad offensive possession, we make poor decisions, we have a turnover, it quickly led to baskets for them, transition points for them. And so, you know, I don't know what the numbers of it says 10 down here, fast break points, but it feels like it was more than that. Because it seemed like when we made a poor decision, boom, they're getting a layup down the other end. And then I mean, some of those we had looks that we wanted, a couple of looks in the post that we didn't get, a couple of calls we didn't get. But we just started to stand around too much.
John, that said, how pleased were you with the way you finished in the final minutes, particularly Devontae, you know, 12 points in the final 209?
That's you know, Devontae has 8 assists today. Devontae's getting everybody else involved. But when it comes time to win the game, Devontae does what he has to do. And not to say the first part was not what he had to do. And so that, I mean, that's a senior. That's someone that understands. Okay, now, you know, there's a lid on the basket. We're not, everything is stagnant. Even when we get the looks that we want, they're not going in. And he just took over at the end in the right kind of way.
Was their ability to get to fast break baskets or seemingly fast break baskets in the second half, was that tied to them going small?
No, I think, and I'm not taking anything away from them. It was tied to our poor offensive execution. You know, whenever we took a poor shot or had a poor turnover, boom, they were gone.
Question for Devontae. No points in the first half, but 15 in the second. It seems like you had a good sense for when to facilitate and when to take over scoring-wise. Is that something that you would say you developed on over the course of your 4 years here?
It's something that I definitely paid attention to, but I know this group in particular can score the ball. We have a lot of guys who can shoot, a lot of guys who are, you know, quick with our cuts, and you know, offensively we're a really explosive team. You know, defensively we also shown that we can be, you know, just as effective.
Devontae, what do you think's been the biggest difference for you guys these first 2 games in the Big East compared to the way you guys ended non-conference play?
We ended non-conference with a win.
Yeah, we won. That's all that matters. And,
the overall stretch of the non.
Well, we've known that, you know, the second half of the season is, you know, a fresh start for us. You know, Big East play is very important, and we just want to continue to take it 1 game at a time and continue to win.
Yeah, Mark, it's kind of the same question for you. What do you think have been the differences these last couple of games as opposed to that stretch near the end?
We really didn't let the ball stick. You know, from the stats, you know, we have 5 people with double digits, so we have a lot of scorers in our offense. As long as we share the game, we're good.
From a free throw shooting standpoint, he only missed 1 on the day, but what Gene was talking about with his final 209, he goes 8 for 8 at the line. Just the idea of free throws not being an issue there.
Thankfully. You know, we made our foul shots. You know, we missed one. Reggie missed one. You know, but it makes a difference. I mean, everything is, once you get, you guys know this, regardless of what conference you're in, regardless of what league you're in, everything's accentuated now that conference play is starting. You know, there's no, you know, we go through scouting report and they do exactly what we anticipated. I'm sure we did exactly what they anticipated. And that's going to be the case. Now, it was the case in Chicago. That was the case tonight. It's going to be the case in Omaha on Tuesday. And so it just comes down to execution. And the key for us, though, is at the defensive end of the court. You know, I thought we did a good job. I thought when they had opportunities, as I said to Ron, it was more so because of our offense that led to an advantage for them on defense. I think we did a good job of making most of the time, not every possession, but they had to work. They had to work. And that's where we haven't been as strong this year as we traditionally are. And we're getting there. I mean, we're getting there. We're moving uphill. You know, as long as our guys understand that, you know, we can talk about points and we can care about points and all that stuff. We have to defend. We have to get on the floor when it's time to get on the floor. We have to make the hustle plays when it's necessary. And as Devontae pointed out, the offense will be there. We have enough scores, but the rebounding, the hustle plays, the effort on defense is where we have to continue to grow. We're in the best conference in basketball, and it's nothing easy. No nights are easy. Everything is going to be a fight. Everything is going to be, and that has always been the case in the Big East, and now it's no different.
Third up, Tyler.
Devontae, Marcus, Caleb made a lot of plays that aren't going to be in the box score, diving on the floor, getting offensive rebounds. How does his play, or anybody's play when they're getting on the floor like that, energize you guys on the court?
I mean, Caleb is, you know, one of the best defenders that we have, one of the most active players that we have. He can do a lot of things, handles the ball really well, can rebound really well. His offensive rebound, I think, was, you know, the most effective today. And, you know, next game, you know, it might be his day to, you know, score the ball because he can do that. And Caleb just continues to make the hustle plays. And, you know, I think everybody on the team, if we continue to do that, we'll keep winning.
And I want to add to that. You know, we're only 2 games into the conference play. But, you know, in the locker room just then, you know, I told the guys, you know, Caleb reminded me, and has all year, if you can take the offensive component out of Otto, where you would see Otto Porter running down long rebounds. You would see Otto Porter making the hustle plays. You see Otto Porter getting on the floor. And that's, you know, Caleb at this point is not the offensive player that Otto was, but when in terms as it relates to the effort that he puts out and the caring and the effect that he has on the game, as your question led in with, you know, that aren't going to show up on this, that aren't going to show up on the stat sheet, and the energy that he gives and the confidence that he gives his teammates is something that we need, that he's very good at, that he's very, very good at, and hopefully other people will start to do that also.
Marcus, just talk about, you had 16 points. Just talk about some of the things you feel like you did, like, well today, like, overall.
Well, my 16 points weren't off of just me, you know, just getting the ball, just making plays. My teammates, you know, in particular Devontae, he really set me up on a lot of those plays, found me when I was open in the corners, and you know, we just shared the ball.
Marcus, talk about defending Ellison physically, you individually and your team.
Yeah, it was a team effort. We're just trying to slow him down, take away all the looks, you know, keep our hand over the ball, you know, make everything tough for him.
John, I know it was the last game that you made the lineup switch. Just curious, what do you think that switch has done for you guys in these 2 games?
You know, I don't look at, I think I said this to you yesterday. Actually, no, I said it to Ron yesterday, I think it was. We have multiple guys that you can look at on our roster and say, oh, he's a starter. We have many guys that you say play starter minutes. You know, I like the boost that we get off the bench the last 2 games, bringing LJ off the bench. You know, we get some pop with him coming off the bench, and so, you know, probably going to stay with it, but may not. but may not. But I mean, you look at, you know, LJ, whether he's starting or not, playing starters minutes, and we look at it as a starter. Same with Trey, same with Reggie. You know, and big fella Jesse plays like he did today. We can put him in that category also.
Do you think it's helped with his foul problems? You have him in the game at different times now. He's been getting off to bad starts with the fouls.
LJ,
Yeah.
that's been part of the equation also, and trying to find a way. You know, you look at some of our losses and you go back and you either like monitoring his minutes or he's fouled out at the end of games when we need his defense in there, his ability to get to the rim in there, and so that is absolutely part of the equation. And it's you know, not having him out there in the beginning might allow us to have him in there at the end.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.